Hey folks, how's it going? Today we are taking a look at the print and play game Assault on the Colossus! This is, well, like I just said, a free print and play game I found online while I was digging through various websites looking for games to print out. Very simple games that I could print out, put in a sleeve protector, and put it in a binder, for road trips or whatnot, or if I just had 5 or 10 minutes to kill. This one stood out because of the name, and it sounded interesting. I grew up playing Shadow of the Colossus on PS2, which if you have not played, you are doing yourself a massive disservice. It is a fantastic game, absolute masterpiece. Soundtrack totally kicks ass as well. So, clicked on this just on title alone, and then it was upon loading the webpage that I downloaded it from is where I saw the full game sheet here and all its beautiful. Oh yeah, it's pretty. So yeah, instant download for me. Printed it out, played a couple games. It's pretty solid. It's not perfect. There's definitely some rules issues that I will talk about way later. But yeah, so Assault on the Colossus, designed by 3Megskia. However you pronounce that. Yeah, so essentially, this game is you taking on the role of a protagonist, and your whole point, job here is to scale this massive beast, and kill it. If you've played Shadow of the Colossus, that is exactly what you do in that game, over and over and over and over again. You scale giant monsters, you stab them repeatedly in the head until they stop breathing. That's basically the gist here. So the whole goal, aside from killing, well, I mean, yeah, you kill the Colossus, but there's also a village that is trying to get to, and you need to stop it from reaching said village. So you've got spaces in which you can move up to the final point to where you can attempt to kill the creature. It will be moving its way down this track here to the little village. If it hits the village, game over. Also, if you take enough damage to reduce your health to 0, you are also dead. So you've got various tools that you can use to help aid in your climb up the creature. You've got stamina, fatigue, vitality. All of these things have little side rolls that you can activate to manipulate dice rolls. You have various pieces of equipment that also aid you. And in general, there's a couple spots on the track that will also kind of help you overall. Before you get playing, you just need to gather a couple things, mainly 6 d6 dice and a marker to mark your current location, and just a collection of tokens to track various stats and equipment and whatnot. So to set up, all you need to do is place a couple markers on your stat sheet here. So stamina starts at 6, fatigue starts at 0, vitality starts at 4, the rope crossbow maxes out there, and I'm going to use a green piece to represent the grappling hook, because that you can actually put on the map. That actually will prevent you from falling past a certain location, so hopefully you'll probably see that in play. Your character token will be placed at space 0, like so. And that's basically the setup. So essentially how this works is the turn consists of hero actions and the Colossus actions. At the start of the turn, you have you can take one of 2 possible actions. You can either attempt to scale the creature, or you can hunker down and regain some fatigue. Or not regain, but get rid of some fatigue. Obviously, you're going to want to scale the creature, because if you just kind of hang out at the bottom, or whatever, you're never going to kill this thing in time before it reaches the village. So yeah, so you're going to do that, and then after you take your action, the Colossus is going to activate, and he will roll a dice on a. He's going to roll 2d6 on a chart, and there's going to be a couple things he can do, like try to shake you off, or maybe he'll draw himself closer to the village. There's a couple things. So up the track here, we've got various points here. These are called rage spots. Yeah, rage spots. Basically, you have to perform small tasks when you reach these in order to progress any further. And then there are also various points like these shield icons here, which allow you to rest and recover something. Stamina, fatigue, vitality, something that will help you on your journey here. So that's basically it. You take your actions, Colossus takes his actions, and then you just kind of roll and apply any, any side effects, and that's basically it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started, and I'll just kind of explain how these rules come into play as we go. So, so I'm here at space 0, so obviously I'm going to want to start climbing. So to do that, you roll 2d6, and normally you roll this and then subtract your fatigue level from that roll, but since we're just starting off, it's going to be this just a straight roll, and we have a 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go to the hero turn chart here. Maybe you might be able to see it a little bit better. Okay. So you take your roll, and then you compare it to the chart. So we rolled a 5, 6, 7, 8, so that falls under here. We ascend 1 level. Whoop. Perfect. Okay. And that's basically it for our actions. Now the Colossus is going to activate, and he simply rolls 2d6 on a chart. And there are modifiers to this based on his rage. Basically, the angrier he is, the more likely he's going to do something bad. So for now, we're just going to roll 2d6 and see what happens. That is a 6. Okay, so down here on the chart and here on the rules, the Colossus's actions, if he rolls a 6, he attempts a shake. Now, shake gets its own table here, the shake table here. So now I have to make a secondary roll to see what happens. Oh, boxcars. Okay. So, the shake. Okay, actually, that's pretty good. So we found a good spot. Hold on to a good spot. +1 stamina. Okay, so that really doesn't do a whole lot for us since we're not really missing any stamina right now. So so we're good. That's essentially an entire turn. So we're gonna start a whole new turn here, and we're gonna go and I'm gonna try to climb again. And 11. Which is ascend 1 level. Whoop. And here we go. The Colossus takes his actions. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is stand still. That's it. So the Colossus just, I guess he's just kind of pondering something. It says stand still, hero turn, which basically kicks that back over to me, ending the turn immediately. So not bad. High rolls for the Colossus are good for you. Low rolls during his actions are bad. Okay, so we are on space 2. I'm going to try to ascend into this rage spot right here. And, ooh, drop the die. Oh, boxcars, nice. Okay, so in that scenario, I ascend 1 level, and I am -1 fatigue, but I do not have any fatigue because I haven't had to manipulate anything yet, so I'm going to move that to that rage spot right here. Now, in order to progress any further, I have to perform a simple task, and that simple task is to roll a pool of dice, and I need to acquire a certain result. For the first rage spot, I am required to roll 3 different results of different values. So you got the little equal sign here with a slash through it. So the amount of dice you roll is determined by the Colossus's rage level, which is determined down here. So the angrier he gets, the less dice you chuck during these various tests. Now, you can increase the Colossus's rage by having to, by failing a test at a rage spot. So if you rolled, didn't get enough didn't get the results you needed, and somehow was not able to manipulate the dice in any way, then you can re-roll that entire thing. But in order to do so, you have to move the Colossus one tick up the track. So you roll 6d6 normally for the rage tests, and then the angrier he gets, you roll 5, 4, 3, and then once you max out the rage level here, he eventually will advance 1 towards the village. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. 6 dice, needing 3 different results. We got a 1, 3, 5, and some more 5s, and a 6. So 4 results. Bingo. Boom. Done. So we're going to go ahead and mark this as finished. And basically that signifies that we have completed that rage spot, and we no longer have to retake that test should we do something, or should something happen to us and we fall past that point, because the Colossus can shake and we can fall down. Colossuses do not take actions on rage points or safe points. So for the next, for this spot, I've completed my task. The Colossus doesn't activate, the turn's automatically over. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to scale the beast further, and I'm going to go and roll. Oh, come on, get in there. And 4. Okay. So I rolled a 4. So on the chart here, 4 to 6 equals falling 1 level. Now, obviously I don't want to do that because that's just, bad. I'm never going to kill this thing if I don't. So you have a couple of tools available to you, and those come in the form of your stamina, fatigue, and vitality. So you can spend a point of stamina, so reducing this track here, to re-roll 1 die of your choice. You can increase your fatigue by 1 point to flip a die to its opposite face. Or you can spend a point of vitality to add plus or minus 1 to a die result. So we've got 2 2s. What is immediately under a 2 is a 5. And I think that would work if we spent a fatigue. So we're going to move that to 1. Flip this 2 over. 5, 6, 7. And that grants us the ability to now ascend 1 level. Boom. So, ascend. Okay, now when you get to the safe spot, which is what I just landed on, you are granted the chance to do one of 4 various things. Now you can only do each of these things once per game. Next time you land on a safe spot, you'll have to pick another. So recover stamina, decrease your fatigue, recover 1d6 vitality, decrease the monster's rage level by 1. So none of this is really going to benefit me in any way. I mean, I could decrease my fatigue, and I probably will do that because the more fatigue you have, it'll actually subtract that number from your climbing, from the total that you roll for your climbing. So that's kind of a big deal. So I think what I'm going to do is reduce my fatigue back to 1. Gonna mark that as done. That's a bit big, but whatever. And that's my turn. Well, that's my actions, but since I'm on a safe spot, the Colossus does not activate. So turn's over, kick over to the next turn, and I'm going to attempt to scale the beast once more. 6, 7, 8. That is ascend a level. Boop. Okay, now we're back on a normal space, which are these circles, if you haven't guessed by now. But basically every normal space is a space that the Colossus will react. So, rolling, 6, 10, so the Colossus is standing still, and the turn is over. He doesn't seem super motivated right now to try and throw me off. Very strange. Okay, new turn. Go ahead and try and ascend to the next rage spot. 5, 6, okay, that's a 6. So 6 is a falling 1 level. I don't really want to do that. I could spend a point of stamina to re-roll this, and hoping I don't roll another 1. I could spend a point of vitality to add plus 1 to that, or either one of them, to get me back over to 7, which is what I would need to ascend. I don't have a whole lot of vitality, though, and if that hits 0, then I'm dead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a point of stamina. I'm going to re-roll this 1, hoping that I don't get... Well, that didn't work out very well. Now, the rules are kind of unclear as to how often you are allowed to use your hero stats. As per the rule sheet, it just says the hero stats can be used to modify dice results, and then it goes on to explain what each one does. It doesn't specify how often you can use them per turn. And the first couple of games, I just kind of went through and I just spammed my my special abilities left and right, and then dice rolls were a cakewalk. I never really had any difficulty. So what I've decided to do is limit that to one. Each one can only be used once per turn, and I'm going to see how that kind of helps even out the odds there. So I spent a point of stamina to reroll and botched it, so I'm going to go ahead and just take a point of vitality to add +1, turning that total to 7, which is enough for me to ascend to the next rage level. Boom. Okay, so at this rage level, we have a sequence that we now need to roll. So on this 6 dice, because he's not enraged yet, I need to roll a sequence of 2, 3, and a 4. Should be fairly easy. I don't know. I played a bunch of Yahtzee, and this can be a lot harder than it seems. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Easy. Let me go ahead and mark that. And that is now clear. And yeah, that's it. Colossus doesn't act on the rage spot and turns over. And we'll go ahead and decide to climb, or do I want to... We're getting up there. No, I'm going to climb once more. I'm going to attempt to climb once more. And 5. Okay, so that's not great. What do I want to do? Do I want to re-roll the... I can't possibly roll another 1, can I? Come on. Get it. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not too bad. That is enough to ascend. Boop. There we go. Now the Colossus goes and activates. 7. 7 on the Colossus is standing still. Wow, this guy really doesn't want to go anywhere. It's almost like he doesn't care I'm trying to kill him. Okay. Well, we are almost halfway up the Colossus. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a grapple point, or grapple hook point, and that allows me to tag a location with the grapple hook. And basically, well, rules is written, the hero can hook onto any body spot. This will prevent you from falling beyond that point. So essentially, it's a checkpoint, I guess. So you can never fall past that point so long as you have that there, and you can use that up to 3 times. So I'm thinking that's a little overpowered. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attempt to scale the creature some more. Now that I have that grapple hook there as insurance. 5, 6. And 6 is fall 1 level. But since I have the grapple hook there, that prevents me from falling past that point, so we are good. The Colossus then activates. 6, and that is Shake. So it's going to go ahead and try to throw me off. 7. 7 on the Shake chart is Manage to Hold On. So that's high enough that benefited me just fine. Okay, so next turn, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to scale. Boy! Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spend another point of stamina. Come on. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. Boop. Moving on to the save point. Okay, so I've already cleared my fatigue, so I'm going to go ahead and recover stamina. Boop, 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 boop. Perfect. And that's all I can do now. Next turn, take my hero action. I'm going to attempt to scale the creature again. Nice. 9, so that is enough. Boop. Now we are on the next rage point. So, for this one, I need 3 results of equal value, basically. 6 dice, and full house. Not full house. 3 of a kind. 6 dice, 3 of a kind. Come on. Okay. Well, that worked. 4 6s. Boom. Go ahead and mark this. Boop. And that's the end of that turn. Go ahead and grab my 2d6. And I'm going to attempt to scale again since I do not have any fatigue to worry about. Okay, 11. 11 is ascend 1 level. Boop. Perfect. We're really moving up here. Not too bad. Colossus will activate. 7. 7 is standing still. Hero turn. Okay. Not super eventful so far. Okay, end of turn. And start of my next turn. Attempt to scale again. 10. Ascend 1 level. Boop. And the Colossus activates. And it's a 6. 6 on the is a shake. Roll in the shake chart. Here's a 5. 5 is... Oh! 5 is fall 1 level. Okay, so he shook me hard enough to rattle me. Whoop. Now, I could just take the shake, or what I could do is I could use my rope crossbow. And that says if the hero falls when the Colossus shakes, which just happened to me, they can use this tool to hold on and avoid falling. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that. And we're just going to stay where we are. Alright, next turn. Attempt to scale to the next rage point. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's good. Okay, and for this, we need another sequence. This time 4, 5, and 6. 6 dice. 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have 5. Okay. I do see a way we can do this, though. Okay, so we got a 5. I could spend a point of vitality to flip that to a 6. And I could spend a point of fatigue to flip that... No, wait. I could flip that down to a 4. And I could flip that to a 6. Okay, we're going to do that. So, spend a point of vitality to add or minus 1, turning this into a 4. And then we are going to spend a point of fatigue to flip this 180 to a 6. Alright. Boom! There it is. 4, 5, 6. Rage point cleared. Alright. And next turn. Attempt to climb, and we have a 5, actually. We have worse than a 5. For every point of fatigue you have, that's minus 1 from your dice roll, so I have a 4. 4 is falling 1 level. Probably should have used the grapple hook again, since I'm so close to the summit. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I only have 2 points of vitality left. I'm going to hang on to those. I'm going to spend a point of stamina. I'm going to... Reroll this. 4, 5, 6, 7. That clears it. The fatigue, I don't believe affects anything but your climbing rolls, which is this right now. So does it affect the overall total? Yeah, I think so. If it falls, let's see here. High level of fatigue negatively affects the climbing rolls. So I think it will still apply. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So minus 1 for fatigue. That's a 6. So I'm still going to fall. Okay. We'll take it. That's fine. Since we're on that space, we're going to go ahead and activate the Colossus. And he rolls a 4, which is she goes to shake. And the result of the shake is 5, 6, 7. And it says I managed to hold on. Not too bad. Okay, so start of my next turn, I'm going to go ahead and pop another grappling hook. And we're going to stick it to this location here. in hopes that I do not... I don't want to go falling all the way back down again. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and scale to the next spot. 5, 6, 7, which is actually a 6. Okay, that's not good. So 6 would normally have us fall, but since I just put the grapple hook down, we are safe. And that is a normal spot, so the Colossus will activate again. 8 is standing still. Okay, wow, this guy really just could not care less for me right now. My next turn, I'm going to go ahead and try to scale the creature. Oh boy, 4, fall 1 level. Can't do that because of the grapple hook, so ha! Actually, it's 3 technically, so... Okay, well, Colossus activates. 5, 6, 7, standing still. Like I said, the game's not perfect. I definitely think the charts could be tweaked a little bit. I think a lot of these charts kind of swing a little too heavily in my favor because, as you can see, we're about 3/4 of the way up. The Colossus has not moved anywhere near the village, nor have I really had any trouble scaling the creature. It's only now that I'm starting to kind of use a little bit of my abilities here. Okay, so my turn again. Attempt to scale. 5, 6, 7, which is a 6. I'm just getting sick and tired of this. I'm gonna put a point of. We're gonna re-roll this. Yeah. Okay, that is a 10. Plenty. Moving up. Finally moving up in the world. Okay. So I have cleared this rage spot already, so I do not need to retest for it. And the Colossuses do not act on the rage spots or the safe spots, so turn is effectively over. On to the next turn. Trying to scale again. Boy. Fall 1 level, plus 1 fatigue. Great. So we... Oh, is there anything I can I... So this is technically a 1, because of my fatigue that's already on there. I'm gonna go ahead and... I need to roll... Crap. Okay, no. We got it. We got this. So, I'm gonna go ahead and fall 1 level. And I am plus 1 fatigue. And that's not great because it's going to subtract 2 from my dice rolls. So that's not really going to be all that great. But next turn, I think I've got a way I can solve that. So Colossus will activate, and that's a 6. It's going to attempt to shake, getting a 4, which is falling 1 level. But the grappling hook saves me. So yeah. Okay, so my turn. So, like I said at the beginning, you have 2 possible actions every turn. You can either climb or you can take a rest. And when you take a rest, you clear 2 fatigue, and that's basically it. If you take a rest on a rage spot or a shield spot, then the Colossus will move 1 point further down the track. But since we're on a normal spot, I'm going to go ahead and clear 2 fatigue, and that's my action. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the Colossus next. Oh. Alright, so the Colossus rolled low enough that he has advanced 1 space towards the village. Okay, and back to my turn. Attempt to climb, needing, since I'm not fatigued anymore, this is just a straight roll. Yeah, fantastic. Ascend 1 level and minus 1 fatigue. Well, I don't have to worry about that. Okay. Rage spot, Colossus doesn't act. Kicks back over to me. 5, 6, 7, 8. Definitely enough. Whoop. And on the next shield spot. Okay, I can either recover 1d6 worth of vitality or decrease the monster's rage by 1. Monster's not affected by rage, so we're going to go ahead and try to heal ourselves. 1d6. Okay. I see how it is. Alright. Colossus doesn't act on the safe spot, so it kicks over back to me. Attempt to scale, and a 3. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and spend a point of stamina. And I need at least... What do I need? I need at least I need a 7 total to climb, so this needs to be a 5 or a 6. That's not great, but... Oh, I saw a 6 there for a second. Crap, okay. So we're at a 4. I could use a point of fatigue to flip this over. That would work. But I'd be going up to the summit with a point of fatigue on me already. Oh well. We'll see what happens. Boop. Flip this over. 5, 6, 7. Bam. Cha-cha. Okay. And the Colossus activates. That's a 5, which is a shake attempt. 6, 7, 8. That is managed to hold on. Nothing happens. Alright, my turn. We're going to attempt to scale again. Or do I want to rest before the... No, I'm going to attempt to scale. 8 minus 1, 7. Just enough. Ta-da! Boom! Okay, we are at the final rage spot. And the sequence we need for this one is a 5 and 2 6s. And we'll see how this works. There you go. 5 and 2 6s. Go ahead and mark that as done. And Colossus doesn't act on the rage spot, so we'll go ahead and take another turn. And I'm going to go ahead and fire my last grappling hook at this location, because I do not want to fall past here. Not when I'm so close to victory. Alright, attempt to scale. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. More than enough. I ascend 1 level. Boom! We are here at the top. Now, once we're here, we have a chance to kill the Colossus. We have to essentially roll 2d6. We subtract our fatigue from the roll, but we add our stamina to the roll as well. So I'm essentially going to be -1 and then adding 3. So, and then there's a chart here to see what happens. And if I get, let's see, 2 or 3 is falling 4 levels, which is bad, but I have the grappling hook there, so that should be fine. That's where I think the grappling hook may be a little bit overpowered. 4 through 5 is falling 2 levels. 6 through 7 is managing to hold on, and then an 8 through 12, or higher, I would assume, is kill shot. So let's see what happens. Fantastic. So the 2 minus 1 plus 3, so that's a 4. That's pretty bad. Falling 2 levels, but grapple hook saves us. Ugh! Right there. And that's about that. Bummer. We're going to go ahead and I think what I'm going to do is while I'm hanging here, I'm going to take a rest action. -2 fatigue, just clearing 1. And that'll be my action. Or my turn, essentially. Colossus doesn't act because I'm on the rage point. And I'm going to go ahead and next turn, attempt to scale again. And 5. Oh boy. That's falling 1 level, but the grapple hook saves me. I would assume if I were to tweak the rules for the grapple hook, I would probably say the grapple hook can only be used once. So you can save yourself from falling once, and then you gotta remove it, because having just the permanent point on there is a little, it's not really making it super difficult for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to scale again, and I go nowhere. And so I'm just gonna hang out. Next turn, next roll, and a 7. Boom! We're on top of the world. I'm gonna go ahead and try to kill the creature yet again. 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 3, 8, 9, 10. So our total roll's a 10, which lands us in this here. Boom! Buried the blade in the Colossus's head, killing and taking it down to the ground. The village is safe. Congratulations. Alright, so essentially, once we do that, we've won the game. Now we go ahead and score our game to see how well we did. Alright, so here we are. Scoring is pretty simple. So, At the end of the game, we go ahead and count each remaining spot on the Colossus's path. Scores 1 point, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Ooh, hold up. Hey, this is Cody, the editor. I just wanted to pop in and say my score actually was slightly inaccurate. Earlier, I took a rest on the final rage spot on the Colossus, and per the rules, whenever you do that, the Colossus should move 1 step farther down the track. So you should have been on the second space here, which means when I went to go tally the that track there, I should have had 12. I mean, the overall score, yeah, it would have been 1 less, and I don't think it would have affected the title I earned from scoring. But I just wanted to throw that out there because I noticed it upon reviewing the footage, and I just wanted to let you guys know. Other than that, yep, that's about it. Cool. Back to the video.
So that is a base 13. Each remaining stamina scores +1. I've got 3 stamina remaining. I don't know why I wrote 1, so +3. And each remaining vitality scores 2, so 2, 4, 6. Each remaining fatigue scores -1. I am not fatigued at all, so that's good. And each rage level without marks acts like multipliers for the final score. So here's all the rage levels here. None of them are marked, so essentially this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 5 multiplier. So we're going to go ahead and figure this out here real quick. 110 points.
Yeah, no, it's not 110, it's actually 105. I mean, it's okay, we still achieved legend status, so who cares? Anyway.
And then you can compare that to this little chart down here, and it'll just kind of give you a little label for how well you did. So we scored high enough that we we attained the legend status, which is you got townsfolk, adventurer, veteran, legend. But yeah, that's basically it. And then you can just kind of write your scores in here. These are a couple of practice games I've played. Question marks here because I got a ton of rules wrong the first couple of games I went through. But yeah. So that's basically it. That is Assault on the Colossus. It's a pretty solid game. I do think there are definite things that need tweaking. Like I think the charts need to be tweaked a little bit. I think a lot of these margins can be tightened up because honestly, like you can the Colossus barely moved more than 1 space. He spent most of the game just kind of hanging around because. Let's see here. On a 2 or a 3, it moves towards the village. Okay, so that's not very likely for him to do that. 4 through 6, he shakes, which happens, enough. But on a 7 through 12, he stands still and does nothing and kicks the turn back over to me. So I think I would probably make that margin, that range, a little bit smaller. Instead of 7 to 12, maybe like 10 to 12, and then buff the other 2 bad ones because those are bad. I don't want those. I'm not getting the sense of. There's no timer effect. So like I felt like I had all the time in the world to kill this thing. It didn't really stress me out too much. Honestly, a lot of the practice games I've played, my biggest threat has been basically myself. One time I went to go manipulate a dice roll with my vitality, and I used my last point of vitality, and I accidentally killed myself. So that's kind of been my biggest challenge, is just trying to manage these points here. I definitely think some of the I definitely think these need to be better defined in terms of when I can use them, how I can use them, and how often. Me doing 1 each per turn seems to be okay. Maybe not. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be 1. I don't know. I did find a thread on Board Game Geek where someone was asking the same question, and the developer for this has kind of dropped off the face of the planet. He deleted his Board Game Geek account, and any files pertaining to this game are completely gone. You cannot access them from that website. I actually found this from another website. I will link that into the description below if you want to print this out and play for yourself. But in that thread, the guy asked a question about the same deal, how, you know, the stamina, fatigue, and vitality, whether or not you can use those more than once per turn, and he got a response back, but because he deleted his account, all I saw was the person's response to his answer, and he said something along the lines, "Oh, I've been doing it multiples per turn. Oh, thank you very much." So I'm assuming there is a limit to how often you can use these, whether or not it's once per turn or only one per turn period. Like vitality, boom, that's it. Can't do anything else. That seems a little bit harsher. I'll have to play a couple games where I try that out. But yeah, let's see. Grapple hook, I would probably put in a rule to, you know, it resets every time you use it, because just having that be a permanent, you know, safety net is just a little too easy. The rope crossbow comes into play often enough. I only used it once, but I think that's fine the way it is. You could probably honestly probably get rid of grapple hook altogether and just keep the rope crossbow. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But those are just a couple things that I for sure would have probably changed. Also, having the Colossus not act on these particular spots, and then having them be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So of the 16 spaces, 8 of them the Colossus isn't acting on them. So maybe I would have a rule where on the rage spots, the Colossus doesn't act unless you clear it. And you know, if you return to that spot at a later point, then you know you take your action, and then it'll attempt to try to do something there. Maybe I have that. But, yeah, so because you guys saw it, just kind of did a lot of standing around, not super threatening. But yeah, those are just some suggestions I'd probably make in the future if I were to ever rewrite this and maybe kind of tweak it myself. But yeah. So that's about it. That's Assault on the Colossus. Let me know what you guys think. And thank you for watching, and have a great day.